Saurabh, sir. You may start, sir. Sir, your voice is not. No, sir. So you can retry by leaving and then rejoin.
One could not escape that fact. As class president, I strive to achieve great things for my fellow students. But there were
I would
always
request everybody to kindly mute themselves or you will be removed from this meeting. Kindly mute yourself, guys.
Can you hear me now? Am I
Yes,
audible? Can you see me?
Yes, sir, you're perfectly audible now.
Perfect.
Glad to see you,
So
sir.
I think we'll start the session. Really nice to see you as well. So I think Janvi has already introduced me, even though I could not hear at that point of time. I'll again introduce myself. My name is Saurabh Sablo. I'm an Indian Foreign Service officer of the 2018 batch, 2017 exam. I was previously posted in Spain in the Embassy of India, Madrid, and presently I am posted at the headquarters. So I was told that there's this society by the name of Udan of your college, Hansraj, where there are students who are preparing for UPSC and I think otherwise as well. So at the outset, I would like to thank Hansraj College and the Udan Society for giving me the opportunity to address one of the brightest minds of the country. And it's truly a privilege to interact with you. I wish it could have been offline and it would have been better to meet everybody in person. But due to COVID restrictions, I think it's the best way to virtually interact using this platform. Today, I would like to take the opportunity to discuss and share with you some of the learnings that I have had during my preparation, during my days of college and days post that, and how it led to things that I've learned, experiences that I've gained, which could be helpful for some of you in your journeys and in your respective career progressions. So to begin with, I did my engineering in the field of industrial and production, which is a part of mechanical. And post that, I was working in a manufacturing unit in one of the very renowned firms. Uh, I was paid decently. While I was working there, I realized that there is more to life than just money. And in a career spanning of say 30, 35, 40 years, you need more motivation than just money or just a job to grow further in life. So that is when I decided to go for the UPSC exam. It is basically the purpose of your existence, which kind of makes your life meaningful. So until and unless you find what is there for you, the thing in which you uh, kind of see interest in, where you are interested and where you can contribute. So while working there, I felt that I was contributing towards an organization, an individual, and I was identified by that organization or its name, which made me realize that the society we live in and the country that India is, the way it is progressing, I wanted to be a part of that change. I wanted to contribute towards nation building, towards its development, and hence I thought the best way to do so would be to write the civil services exam. Without knowing much about it, how the exam is, what exactly it includes, with just a basic idea, I quit my job and I started preparing. I was a clean slate when I started, probably the cleanest slate that is possible. Uh, very, very fresh mind, without knowing much about the outcome, the right strategy to prepare. I just started preparing. So to go about the journey, it's long. It's even filled with self-doubt. It's tedious at times, but it's really enjoyable. This is for the first time, once I started to prepare for this exam, is when I realized or I felt the real sense of being educated. Till now, you have college degrees, you have certifications, but this is one exam which will make you truly feel empowered when it comes to gaining knowledge, knowing what's happening around you. So you start to feel, learned or educated in the true sense. The preparation gives you a lot of intellectual pleasure, if I may call it that. It's something that learning will provide you the kind of enjoyment that keeps you going. You get to know what's happening in the constitution, what are your rights as a citizen, what's happening around you, what kind of politics is happening in a certain state. You are suddenly aware from a person who just existed till a couple of days back. You know what's happening in your country, and to a certain extent you want to contribute. So this brings us to something that I would like to emphasize on, is to enjoy the learning or enjoy the process, irrespective of your goals, whether you are a UPSC aspirant, you want to go for an MBA. You should put in your 100%. um, you should enjoy the process, you should enjoy the learning, because if you're doing it forcefully, if you're doing it out of a vested interest or a motive, it will neither bring you any gain while learning it, nor will it bring you any success, that I can assure you. So it's only when you actually detach the final outcome of your reasoning, of your preparation, is when you will realize that you're enjoying the process, and ultimately what you aim, it did happen. So it's very important to enjoy the subjects that you read, even in as college students. Just don't think of something that you're reading is to pass an exam. It does happen, that tendency we have as students, if you study one night before the exam and you clear the exam and then you forget. We never learn to link things, we never learn to correlate, we never apply our mind, we never question. So that is something, that ability, once you develop, you will start to learn the process and enjoy it also. I had read a quotation somewhere which I really felt is apt for the situation. It says that to play the game is great, to win the game is greater, but to enjoy the game is greatest. So that's the attitude you need to have while doing anything in life. Try to gain the maximum from it. without hesitating or without thinking, about the outcome on how it would lead to things. That's for destiny, and that's for other paths to decide. For you, it's important, to do your nishkam karma. Second thing I would like to stress here for everybody, irrespective of your preparation or what you intend to do in life, is the importance of time. All of us know that time is important and you should value it. But at the juncture of your career where you are at, in the moment, at the age of 19, 20, the world is your canvas. You have a lot of opportunities, you're fresh minds. You can go in different directions, from being in a political scientist to a civil servant to an IFS officer. You could do anything. And this is the age where time is very important. These 4 or 5 years would determine the next 40, 50 years of your life. So at this point, you have a higher risk appetite. You can take risk, you can dream big. You do not have any pressures. You do not have any want to, any such responsibilities which actually curb you from going forward or to take a decision. So never take this time for granted. Try to make the most of it, because after this, your priorities change, your risk-taking appetite decreases, and you regret that this time would, never come back. So I always feel that, you should feel that it's kind of a ratio, say a 4:40 or a 3:30, where if you invest 3 or 4 years right now in your career, it will reap you benefits for the next 30, 40 years. Obviously, there'll be goals and challenges ahead as well. But going and pushing yourself in the right direction at this moment will really help you in the long run. Which makes me come to the next learning or next thought that I would like to leave with you, is to dream big. I always thought, and it has been my mantra, to never settle for less. And I know even OnePlus, I think, follows this now, but I've been saying this for a long time. Irrespective of your academic background, irrespective of how well you've done till now or how badly you've performed, it's always a new day. It's always a fresh start. So I personally have not been an outstanding student or somebody who has been a topper throughout. With above average, academic performances, even I was questioned. I was told that, you are too mediocre to go for an exam like this. But I feel unless your goals are high, there is no point working for it. If it's something which is easy to get, it's probably not worth it. I subscribe to that school of thought, where I feel that, unless it is something being chased by a lot of people, or there is, one thing for which there is a lot of contention, it's something worth it. So obviously it will take some time, it will take effort for you to realize that. But unless you do that, it won't give you any categorical gains, which really help you in the long run. Another thing, never, let anyone else decide for you what you should do, what you can or what you cannot. It's up to you to decide your goals, to pursue them, and make sure they become a reality. Everything else is just to motivate, support, or even demotivate you. Now it is up to you how you take that criticism, positively, negatively. You move ahead with that. You should be clear. As long as you feel, you believe that you can do it, you can pretty much do it. And that growth, that graph, is something that you have to decide. Now, obviously, if you're preparing for an exam, or if you are, say, playing a game where within 2 years, 3 years, you don't see any considerable improvement, I think that's the stage when you should back out. If you are scoring 1 run and then going for 5, and then 30 after that, it's still an improvement, and it shows that you're on the right track, rather than being stagnant on 100 for the next 5 years. So try to assess your performance. Try to not just aim, not just aspire, but also work towards it. Which comes, which leads us to another important thing which I would like to share, is to come out of your comfort zone. Never be stuck or never be comfortable in what you're doing. after say graduating, people will tell you, okay, you can take a job right now, or you can go for an MBA and then, get slightly more paid and do that. Don't just follow the herd. Do what you want. You want to go for a startup, you want to appear for civil services exam, you want to join the defense forces, try to do that. I've during my interaction with a number of CSC aspirants, I have seen them telling that, we've never worked so hard. Sir, itna to kabhi padha nahi hai. We've not studied this much in our lives. How will we do that? So my answer to them is that you've not achieved also anything in life till now. Kuch bane bhi nahi hai abhi tak. So, uh, there's a line which I always say, that everybody in the world wants the prize, but nobody wants to pay the price for it. So it's good to look out for the price, but you should always know what price it pays. So from career point of view, or for a UPSC aspirant, I would suggest the price that this exam demands is your effort, is your energy, is your time, your learnings. It does demand a lot, your discipline, your schedule, and that will ultimately lead you closer to your ultimate goal or your prize that you aspire to achieve. So yeah, these are some of the things that I felt will help you in whichever stream of life, whichever stream of career that you want to go forward with. Another important thing that I would highlight is self-care. From my personal journey and experiences, I can tell you that it is very important to care for yourself, to take care of your own. You should not be too hard on yourself. Don't set goals which are unachievable. Don't set targets which will just stress you out. So breathe, take your time, and do things the way they are possible. It's if you're studying for 18 hours a day for 10 days and then you burn out and don't study for 2 months, it's not the right strategy. So devise your own strategy. Do as much as you can, how much it's possible, physically and mentally. Enjoy your hobbies. Apart from your goals, aspirations, preparation, try to build something which gives you pleasure, which you enjoy. That could be music, that could be art, anything. Just some kind of mental distraction, because it's good for your brain also to relax at times, and there are multiple ways to do that. It's just person specific. In my case, I used to enjoy music a lot, and I did invest some time in that occasionally whenever I get. Although I do regret of not doing it enough, but that's something that I would advise you to take care of yourself. There'll be days, when you don't feel like doing anything, you won't like to prepare, you won't want to study, and then there'll be days when you'll be studying 20 hours. So my advice to you in both these situations would be to maintain your calm and be patient, because these are all phases where fear, frustration, and hopes, motivations, demotivation, all these things will often come to you and try to pull you back. And there'll be moments where you'll feel you're on the top of the world. So in both these situations, you should learn to maintain your calm and be as grounded as possible, and keep going. That's the strategy. In anything in life, whether it's UPSC or it's anything that you pursue, it's not easy these days. If you want something, there are another 20 lakh people who want that. So obviously you have to be better than the rest, you have to be better than the best to get that. And to be better, it requires time, it requires to work on your skill, it requires to invest time in something. So don't just get into something without eventually seeing through it. So there are people who would start preparing for CAT, 6 months, okay, nahi, acha nahi laga, let's try UPSC. Did that for 2 years, nahi hua, prelims nahi hua, let's write CLAT, let's go for CA. Don't do that. Fix your goal and work towards it. Invest 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever time you have and whatever you feel is the correct number. But eventually, try to not give up and hang in there. That would help you, I feel, to achieve something that you have always desired to. Uh, One more thing which I would like to discuss with you is, at this stage of your career, you should also always think about means and ends. It's a debate that has been going on for years, but something that I would like to discuss with you. Um, Always keep your ends clear. What do you want in life? What do you want to achieve? So, say if you want to do public service, then there are multiple ways. It's not just civil services one route, which will, clear, help you serve the society. You can join an NGO. You can do public service through many ways. Similarly, if power is something that you aspire, then why bureaucracy? Being a minister, being in the politics, that will serve your purpose. If money is your final end, then you can go for a business opportunity. The corporate world is there. Start a startup. There are multiple things, but you should always be clear what is your end goal. What do you want to achieve? Never mix two or three things, because you'll never be satisfied with what um, outcome that it kind of brings in. Another last thing that I would like to leave with all of you before we go on to a debate, or on a discussion rather, not debate, on civil service preparation, is to not compare yourself. Our generation has a problem of comparing the lives of one individual with another, judge whether somebody has achieved a certain stage in their life till now. Social media is a big culprit. So again, do not compare. You have your own fresh journey. You have your own course charted for you, and you need to follow that. There could be somebody doing well right now. He may be facing some other challenges in future. So do not get motivated or demotivated by somebody else's journey. Eventually, everybody, kind of carves their own way out. So please stop comparing if you are one of those. I feel that it's an important thing. Um, so moving forward, we'd like to discuss about civil services. I was told that there are some of you who would be preparing for the UPSC CSC exam, and would be attending the session. So I would like to talk about it briefly as well. Civil services as a career option to begin with, I feel it is one of the best jobs in the country, or this country has to offer. In fact, it's not just a job; it's service. Um, there's a reason why it's called as the Indian Foreign Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Administrative Service, because it's not just a job. You're providing your services. You're serving the nation, and it gives you the opportunity to represent your country, to raise your flag higher, to take it forward, to bring tangible changes at the grassroots level. There is no other job in the country which I feel can give you so much exposure at this stage of your life. There are a lot of responsibilities that are vested in a young officer in any of the services, and because of which it's a very good career option to begin with for those of you who are still considering whether you should write this exam or not. I feel it's worth a try. During COVID, you would have seen how rightly the steel frame of India, the bureaucracy, really worked hard, and we were all the frontline warriors in whether it's getting oxygen or medical aid from India or from abroad, or bringing back 6 million individuals from different parts of the world as a part of the Vande Bharat mission. These are the things which really would excite you if you are a part of the civil services clan. Uh, it's a job where people really look up to you for inspiration, for motivation, for changing the country for better. And I feel it kinds of gives you a lot of power and responsibility that comes along with it, to serve your people, and to make things better in a way that you can. Now, going briefly into the preparation, I don't know at what stage of preparation are people here in, and what really do you want to know. But to just give you a brief overview, the exam consists of three stages. One is the prelims, there's mains, and there is the interview. Preliminary examination is an exam of the knowledge. It's an exam of facts. all three stages are very different from each other, which is why it's a 3-stage exam. Mains would primarily be about articulation, how well you can express in 250 words what you really want to say. And interview is basically a test of your personality, a test of your opinion, a test of what you feel about what's happening around you. So how aware you are and what you really feel. Having said that, it's not an easy exam. It will take some time. There are a lot of ups and downs associated with it, a lot of downs too.